Welcome to assignment 2 of Coursera's Introduction to Music Production. I'm Stefan. I'm going to be showing you today how to do a microphone recording in Studio One. Let's begin. So first off, I'll start the Studio One application. And I'll configure the audio device. So you can see here I have a configure audio device selection, and the audio devices I need to be choosing the ISO for all version 2, so that's already correctly selected. And then I can go to the control panel to confirm my input and output devices. So we have up here my primary output is just my computer speaker that is selected, and my Shure Digital USB microphone input is selected on the input side. So that's already set up correctly, and you can also see down here in the ASIO buffer size we have 128 samples selected, so that looks good too. When we come back to the options screen, you'll notice here on the input latency side, for some reason it comes up with 736 samples. I don't know exactly why that is much larger. It probably has to do with device block size, which I don't quite understand. So I'll just leave this for now, and I may not have optimal latency configured yet. So there may be some room for improvement. All right, then so we are all good with the device selection. I'll create a new song. So there's a button right here, create a new song. I'll click that. I'll give my song, which is the same as a project, and name. Let's call it assignment 2. And the location is selected just on my desktop. I have a folder, Studio One songs, that holds all the projects for Studio One. So that's good. Sample rate 48 kilohertz. That's a good selection. Resolution set at 24 bits. That's also the recommended selection, so we're good there. I do not know how to select the recording format, but I know it's WAV, so we are good for that. And we can click OK to set up the project. So here we have now a new project in Studio One, and it's all blank. There's nothing shown yet. So let's begin first by having one more look at the audio setup. So in the Studio One options, there is song setup, audio I/O setup, and there's another mapping here for my audio devices, which maps the selection I made earlier into particular channels that are available here in Studio One. So you can see that the Shure Digital input 1 and 2, which is just the left and right channel, are mapped to input left and input right. And then there's also a stereo selection, which I don't really need. And then on the output side, similarly, my speakers left and right channel are mapped to the main output for Studio One. So it's really just the way I want it. So we're good there. I'll just click OK. All right, we need to set up a track. In Studio One, that can be achieved by just double-clicking here on this gray area, which brings up an Add Track box. And then here can give it a name right at the top. So I'm going to call it voice recording. And we can confirm here that the format is mono, which is what I want. And my input chosen is input left, and that's fine too. And that's pretty much all I care about here in the settings. So I just click OK. And you'll see I have a brand new track, empty for now, with my selections kind of highlighted here in the name. All right, then let's begin with doing the actual recording. I will go into my gain on the microphone, and that's, I know it's already set to minimum, and I'll turn down my speaker volume so I don't get any pitching feedback when I start it up. And I want to turn on a metronome setting, so I can do this by this little blue triangle over the metronome selection, and it was already on, so blue is the way I want it, so that gives me a metronome. And if I click on this little wrench, I can go to the metronome setup, and I don't really want to change a whole lot here. The only thing I want is to turn on a pre-count for 2 bars that'll count off before the actual recording begins. So with this, I now have the click and pre-count set correctly. So I can close that. All right, then really the only thing left now is to turn on the record enable on my track, and I can do that with that little black circle. So when I click this, now my input is active, ready to be recorded. It doesn't yet start recording. I still have to actually turn the recording on. But what I can begin doing now is to set my gain on the microphone. So you can see here, if you look at the picture on the top right in the recording, this is my audio input device, and I have the mic gain here on the top. So if I speak into the microphone and turn this up, then eventually you'll see the little the little green yellow dot at the top, and it looks like it's peaking at yellow. So this is just perfect for the gain. So that's good. And I'll turn the speakers up a little bit so I can hear the metronome clicking. All right. Then we can begin the recording, and I'll just simply count off a few numbers and then we can stop. So the recording can be started by clicking on the little record button here on the bottom of the interface, and I can stop it with a square button. So let's just begin. One, two, three, four, 2, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I can stop, and I can go back and rewind and play this back. And I don't know if you can actually hear this through my headphone microphone, but we can try. And I stop, and that is a successful recording. And that's it. All right. Thank you very much for watching.